application program interface, so I don't have to get out of the Zoom, but I can go to YouTube. So I'm dependent on two companies outside of my control, right? Plus, I have Powered by Zoom, and that Zoom is not, I'm not the administrator, right, of even the Zoom account. I have the university in charge of that. So it looks like it's working. I'm going to copy the URL. So we can think about what are the advantages to doing Zoom, right? We can think about what are the advantages to go through YouTube Live. So I have that done, and I see here my YouTube. I know I'm recording. I know that I'm recording live to YouTube. Okay. Any questions before I begin? Angel, you have a great background there. You should take a snapshot of that, right, for your virtual screen, and then they can, the university can pay you for being their spokesperson, right? Doesn't it look like it? Have a great class, and look how you're going to be studying in class. It's like way too much, right? How can you study in that environment? But you have the orange, it looks great. Okay, so everybody's set, everybody's ready to go, and I'm raring to go. So let me share my screen, and we'll talk about what we're going to cover today. Before I share my screen, we're going to be talking about database management systems. So we talk about data. What is data? Why is that important? We know we're all inundated with data, but trying to find some meaning of that data, trying to search that data. What kind of data do we have? We have it in transcripts. Guess what? We have it in video. We have it in audio. How do you make some meaningful decisions on that? How can AI, generative AI, and agents help us in even searching for this video or searching done? We'll talk about the recordings, and we'll talk about how we'll continue in the future. Okay? Any questions? And then I have, of course, it's not acceptable for people not to have their webcam, but we know that that will be adjusted for. Okay, any questions? If not, you'll let me know. Then Soren and Andrea, you'll let me know if you'll interrupt me and let me know. So I'm going to share my screen. So once I share my screen, you see my Zoom. And you see here, everyone, I'm in the corner, Dr. Rush here, and we have some other people just raring to go. We see them, and I know that's available. Okay. Now, everybody go to we always are using our learning management system. Our learning management system that we're using is Blackboard. I'm on the computing advisory committee, and they are seriously considering moving to another learning management system. And they're considering Blackboard Ultra, or they're considering Canvas right now. And they're making some evaluations on that. But we now know how to use basically what we've gathered in this seminar is that most of you are users in this class, meaning students, and my role is of instructor, and we'll always go to the what's due section. And in the what's due section today is February 10th. So we had time in the last class where we looked at our digital skills on using Zoom. We looked at software and our software guides. This Wednesday, on the 12th, we have a number of assignments. We have the readings of data and knowledge management. We have data and knowledge management, our adaptive assignments, and we have our quizzes. We know these quizzes we can take twice. We know the last time we take it is our final grade. We know adaptive assignments. Some of the students had problems with the adaptive assignments. Why? This adaptive assignment, if I look at this adaptive assignment, Soren, it's using Wiley Plus. So whose server are we doing? If I go to my software from last time under software adaptive assignment, and you click that, I'm the view of the instructor. So if I open the assignment, I see, we're opening up the assignment, I see that, well, even though it was due, that 10 students, either they're not in the class any longer, or 10 people haven't started, and I get a sense. I can go into basically in my dashboard, I can drill down and I can see a number of students that have already completed that, right? And if I go, so the question is, Soren, if you get an error page, usually in taking the assignment, where could the error come from? Could it come from Blackboard? Could it come from Zoom? Where do you think it could come from, Soren? You understand the question?
Like an error from
When you're
the
going to
Wiley
take the
page?
yeah, the Wiley page. Where could it be coming from? Students have had problems with the Wiley page. And what
I just
did
I
you have any
assume
problem?
Blackboard.
Blackboard?
I haven't.
Okay. Lily, where do you think a problem could occur from? Just Blackboard?
Maybe their internet? I'm
The
not
internet is
sure.
one. Great. And what do you think in this case, Thomas?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Where are we? It says software adaptive assignment. Where's this coming from? What company?
Wiley?
Wiley. Perfect. So Wiley has a server. Zoom has its server, right? When we connect to Zoom, Zoom, I hope, is taking care of its issues, right? When I even get into my internet, if you're on campus, who do you expect to be taking care of part of it is the university, right? Even you're using the university's network, right, Thomas? You with me? So it's taking care. And the other one is Wiley. And Wiley has a problem, and let me put this in my notes here. Wiley has an issue that sometimes you'll get an error message from Wiley, and that's Wiley's, I'm going to say Wiley Plus, right? Wiley then, it seems, requires to get it without issues that you use Chrome browser. Wiley has an issue with its server that I say it doesn't clean up well. It doesn't clean after itself. You know, have you ever had it where someone in your, if you're splitting your room, they don't clean up their, they don't clean their dishes after themselves? Well, it doesn't clean sometimes after itself well. So what I suggest is you use sometimes a Chrome browser. Sometimes you have to remove your security. Other times, what I suggest you do is use another computer. That means go to the library. Go anywhere else. You can log in with your own credentials and use it. So I've had a number of students, when they are stuck there, they said, that's why I didn't do the assignment. So our other workaround is Wiley cleaning that up. So we have our Wiley adaptive assignments. We have our quizzes, right? And our quizzes, then we have a quizzes on data and knowledge management for Wednesday. That I have that available to me. I also have on my PowerPoints, you should have downloaded already, Introduction to Information Systems, my hardware, my software, and also I'm going to download my PowerPoint. And I'd like everybody to download, and I have my PowerPoint slides where it can help me. And also it is the PowerPoints, the file format is PPTX. I also want another, and put this in your notes, I want also for all the PowerPoints, I want you to save as, in this case, instead of just a PowerPoint, I want you to save it as a PDF. Within PowerPoint, you can do that, and I'm going to put at the end here also the word PDF, those initials, so I know that I have it saved, and I'm going to save it under my download section. And it saved it, and I know that I've downloaded it as well in my PowerPoint. So if I go to my download section here, I can see, everybody see this? I did by mistake. I need to really rename that. I called it PDR, right? So I'm going to rename it. Caps F. And it says, do you want to rename? I say yes. Okay, so it has caps F. I've done this part. Okay. So what we have today, what we have in what you have for Wednesday in your PowerPoints is we're going to discuss ways to manage data and what we call the word data governance. And if I think about then data governance, I got to figure out what that means. So I have to figure out what I mean by data governance, what it is, who cares, and how is it going to help in business. And if you don't know, Lily, what did you always say? As I say, look it up, right? That you can look up all these type of ways to do this. What I said also is what we can use is we can use Google, we can use ChatGPT, we can use others. You remember when I said that in this case, what I can what I can do is I can let's do this. I can go to Google Voice and I can dial then, in this case, I can dial then 800 chat GPT. Let's see if it'll work. And we don't.
Hi, it's ChatGPT. This call may be reviewed for safety. How can I help?
Yes, hi, this is Dr. Rush, and I wanted to know about data governance. Can you give me a definition and why it matters?
Sure, Dr. Rudd. Data governance is the process of managing the availability, usability, integrity, and security of the data in enterprise systems. It ensures that data is accurate, consistent, and accessible to those who need it. It matters because good data governance helps organizations make informed decisions, comply with regulations, and protect sensitive information. What specific aspect were you interested in?
Yes. Hi, Annie. This is Dr. Rush. Can you hear me?
Dr. Rush, yeah, I can hear you. How's it going?
It's
Just got back from a yoga class, feeling
super relaxed. I didn't get back from a yoga
How about
class,
you?
but I'm in a class right now, IT class, and we're talking about data management systems. Can you tell us what is data governance and who cares? And why should we know about it? How can it help businesses?
No yoga for you today, but teaching instead. Data governance, huh? So it's basically the overall management of the availability, usability, integrity, and security of an organization's data. Think of it like having a referee for your data, making sure it's accurate, accessible, and protected. Businesses care because it helps them make informed decisions, reduces risks, and improves compliance with regulations. Plus, good data governance can give them a competitive edge. It's like, when we're trading cryptocurrencies, we need reliable data to make smart moves. Same thing with businesses, they need trustworthy data to drive their strategies. Does that make sense?
Yes. How could it be used in a university organization? Data governance. What's important there?
In a university setting, data governance is crucial. I mean, think about all the sensitive info they handle: student records, research data, financial info. It's a treasure trove of data. So having a solid data governance framework in place helps ensure that this data is handled correctly, securely, and in compliance with regulations like FERPA. It's also important for accreditation and funding, right?
Yes.
With all the research going.
I see that with all our research and our data. Annie, I'm going to stop the call, but thank you very much. We'll talk soon. So if I'm going to call, what's nice here is my calls with Annie is I can go at 3:57 here, look at my call. And what I like about Annie is besides the no yoga, I really can copy it. And she's telling me about what the data management is. Do you understand? Everybody see that? Lily, you see that I can use her. Now, what I want to do is be able, I'll give you a preview of what we'll do in the past, is I want to use a lot of this Gen AI and AI to help us what? Basically, even study. Education, Lily, I think is important, right? In using that Gen AI. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. Go to my front here and share it. Right, I have Annie, and I could even have Annie talk to ChatGPT and others. We can look about that. But also I can go to look about notebooklm.google.com. Everybody see this? I can look at welcome to Notebook LM. And if I research that, notebook, you can see here that basically it's for a note-taking and research assistant. And at first it was experimental. And basically what Notebook LM is, it gets audio interactivity, and they're going to basically be a way in which I can manage content in the way that I have here. My sources, I can give it a chat where it's using its own Gen AI and right here. And in this area, it can give me a number of notes that I can add. I can add notes, I can have it do an audio, a podcast, and I can do a number of different things on it. So what I can do, if I go to my notebook, I can create a new notebook. Everybody with me? Are you with me, Lily? Yes, no?
Yes, I'm with you.
So what I want to do is, let's think about chapter 5, right? I can add a source. So in this case, I want to add a source here. I can then upload. What could I upload? I could go to my downloads and in this case, open up my PDF, right? And I could say then that my source would be my PDF. And notice automatically here, it's amazing, isn't it, Lily? It gives me already this chapter explores knowledge management. It covers challenges in managing data, emphasizing data governance as a solution. The text then explains relational damages, disadvantages, complexity of big data, details of data warehouse, knowledge management, essential data operations like querying, and we'll go over it. And then even here, look at this. How do data governance and knowledge management address data challenges? I like that question. I'm just going to use that one. And I could proceed in doing it. So I click on it and it's going to give me the answer to it, talking about data governance that you were basically, Lily, you don't have to look it up. It looks it up. And then I could do something like this. Give me write 5 multiple choice questions. On, and then I could give it on the key of this chapter. This is general. I could ask you to write it, but I could ask it. And it could give me that information where I would have it. And then I could have it take this chapter. I could customize it. You know what would be interesting to do, Sebastian? Sebastian, you there?
Oh, yeah. I don't know why my camera turns off every
It's all
20
right.
minutes.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
matter.
there it
But
goes again.
when I generate, you can have the students customize their audio overview. So put that in your notes where they could ask then the notebook to emphasize certain parts, focus on certain topics after they reviewed it before they generate the audio overview.
Okay,
I'm
so
going to just do the regular generate, but you put in on the assignment, and you can let Daniel know too, is instead of generating, first customize it
okay.
based on certain topics. And then you could generate, and this may take a few minutes, and look at this, what we have. We have a study guide, a briefing doc. Let me do that. Produce a briefing doc, frequently asked questions, in a timeline. So what do you think, Lily?
I think I wish I knew that prior to
Well,
my
you're
other
knowing it now, because
semesters.
guess what? Guess what the next
Mhm.
assignment is going to be? Each
Utilizing
group,
that.
why not we're having an exam coming up in a couple of weeks. So much
It's
material.
March 3rd, right?
Ariel? What?
It's March 3rd, right?
March 3rd. It's less than how many weeks is that from? It's on Monday. So it's how many, if I go on my calendar,
So
it
like 2
is,
weeks.
well, basically I have two more Mondays, and then I have my March 3rd. So just so you know in advance, is my next part is that everybody basically go over the chapters, take each person in a group, right, Thomas? Take one chapter, every group take a number, create a number of multiple choice questions, create the briefings of all of them, and then guess what? You'll create what, Thomas? A tutorial on how to use, have you ever used Notebook LM? Thomas?
I
Yes?
haven't, no.
So isn't it beautiful to have basically a tutorial in your crew to teach others, right? Put it in and streaming it on your channel, how to use something like Notebook LM, show, and we're doing a number of different ways, showing people a new type of software. And also what, Lily? Basically preparing for the exam. And then can we see everyone else's, and then basically recording it, copying all the multiple choice questions, right? And then we'll use some of the multiple choice questions that the generative AI has produced. Can you see? And you'll be able to see everyone's, right? And we'll try to figure it out, Sebastian, that when they're writing the instructions for this, that it will be consistent, that everybody then can review everybody else's multiple choice questions. And it'll be interesting to see, some groups can emphasize other topics, that we can get different multiple choice questions. And we can get the review, we can get, and what I'll show you is that you can even talk with, it creates a podcast for you. And you can join in the podcast it creates. So isn't that great that, Thomas, you say, hey, I have a podcast too about this chapter. And you can put in the link. How awesome is that? But then what? You have to basically what? You as a person, Lily and Thomas, you have to do what? Review it. It's making sense. Maybe going back and customizing, just like you do on the prompts. You may want to do this 3 or 4 times, your notebook, in order to get the right prompts that it will customize and get you the right results. Because prompting is almost a software, and is basically engineering in itself, right? To get the right results, but a lot better than me starting from scratch. Why not use it? Some of the folks were saying, I think everybody can use it, but I think it should be a standard for things like people with saying that they need accommodations. They were asking me that they need to find, somebody was asking me that I need to find a note taker for other people in the class that need accommodations for a note taker. What's a better note taker than that, right, Lily? What's a better note taker that it'll start having our class to be done? Can do better than anybody as a note taker, or can it even be a supplement? So these are kind of things that I wanted to show you. And if I go back, let me go back here. Let me share my screen. So if I'm going to share my screen here, you'll have to find out then, look at this. You'll have to find out what kind of sources does it require. You can even put links from YouTube. You can put in a number of things. You can't put in PowerPoints, but you can put in PDFs. You can put in Google Slides and Google Docs because this is a Google product, but why do a conversion? You can just take your PowerPoints and save it as a PDF. And look at this. If I asked you, Lily, go create a podcast, you see here, Lily, where it says interactive mode beta? What's nice here is that you can join in with the podcast. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And it's asking me here, allow while visiting this site. It wants to use my microphone. So I'm going to allow it to use my microphone. And now at this point, I can play it.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're gonna dive into a topic that's really kind of everywhere these days. Data.
It's true. Data is everywhere. It's powerful.
Yeah,
It's transforming.
the world around us, really.
Yes.
Yeah, it is, but it's also
It's incredibly complex.
and that complexity can trip up even like the most sophisticated technology.
It's a good point. That's
And-
exactly what
Hey there.
Yes, I'm joining. And I wanted to know, what is data governance? Can you let me know?
Absolutely. It's great you asked.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question.
Okay, let's unpack this idea of data governance
Think of it as the framework that ensures data is accurate
and make sure it's consistent.
and that it's used securely across an entire organization.
This is super important given like how much data there is these days,
Exactly. It's like setting rules of the road.
you know, for how we handle all this information.
And that brings us
What do you think, Lily? Did that freak you out or what?
It was interesting.
It basically has the Gen AI creates a podcast and it tries to be more human-like and has two characters that speak to one another in a conversational mode. But what is new here that wasn't here a couple of months ago is in beta, you as the generator of this entire notebook is you can join in and ask and make comments and ask questions. So what I wanted to make sure that Sebastian understands in the instructions, I want people to join in the podcast that it's making and that you ask intelligent questions about the subject area. The disadvantage, it doesn't create a transcript for you. The disadvantage, it doesn't take voice to text within that notebook LM right now of what you're asking. Do you understand that, Lily? So how can you capture that you've done it? Any ideas? Sophia, any ideas on how you could capture asking the podcast questions? Sophia, do you understand my question? Sophia, do we hear you? Andrea, did you hear my question? How
could you repeat it, please?
Yes. My question is, I'm going to want you to create basically on each chapter a notebook that will summarize everything, create a podcast where it will basically summarize and have generated voices talk about the chapter. They have a new feature where you can join in and ask questions. But the problem is this audio feature with you joining in hasn't been generated a transcript. All it is audio. So it's not generating, it doesn't save your questions. And when you listen to it again, you can share it. It doesn't create a voice to text. So your voice, when you're asking it questions, joining in, you will never hear it again. It's gone away and it hasn't been captured. So my idea here, I would like to have it be captured. And my question is, how could we capture it if we gave it as an assignment?
We could find other softwares that would kind of screen record and then generate transcripts
Exactly.
for audio files.
Exactly. We could even use Zoom, right? You could start the Zoom and then from Zoom, just like I'm doing, record it. And then you could even stream it live and you'd have then the recording. And what's beautiful, does Zoom and YouTube do voice to text? So you wouldn't even have to find anything. Isn't that neat? So these are areas where I'm going to go with you on it, but I just wanted to introduce you. We haven't posted yet that assignment, but those of you that want, you remember, Thomas, those of you that kind of want to explore ahead of time, you could just look at it ahead of time and see how it works. It's not difficult, right? It's really pretty. Did you see how quickly it created all that? And then you could see how could I get it better. But I just wanted to show you those were the terms in which we're doing it. Questions? Soren, what do you think? What was your impressions? of that notebook LM?
It was pretty cool. I think the
Well, what do you
podcast
think
idea.
it did?
Well, you asked a question that had like two people recording back in a podcast, kind of talking about it and talking about the
Right, and
benefits
then
of
it
it.
summarizes, you can ask it to create for you multiple choice question. It summarizes the key points and all of that. But anyways, so those are issues that I wanted to show you. So now I want to share with you your screen, my screen, and I want to go to the audit area. Let me just see, is this my audit? This is my audit. So what is due on Wednesday? If I go to my group example, everybody with me? I'm now in my audit area and in group 0. And under group 0, you should have had your Zoom individual assignment and your Zoom group assignments. And then you should have 2 other folders, one called individual screen recording assignment and screen recording assignment here. And under your screen recording group assignment, I want you to have listed everyone in your group here and what product they used. Now, this is my issue. Sebastian, are you there?
I'm here.
Good. My issue is this, Sebastian. If I go into screen recording group assignment and I look at this, I have Sebastian Hernandez Vimeo, and we showed how to discuss Vimeo. What is the price of Vimeo?
It's free.
Is it free? And how long is it free?
I think it's just always free. I don't think
Is it? You need to check, because if I go to the assignment group, and let me just go into here in group 1, if I look under screen recording, let me just go back. I'm going into group 1. You see this? I'm going to individual group assignment. And then I have here, I have Loom, 5-minute restriction. And then is Peyton here? Peyton in the class today? Can you check, someone? Andrea, can you check? Is Peyton here?
Let me check, sorry.
Under participants.
she's
But look
here.
what it says here. It says free trial for 7 days. You see that?
Yeah, let me double check.
Don't check. What
'cause
I'm
I still
gonna
use
tell
Vimeo to this day.
everybody here, I don't think this is correct, but if there's a free trial for 7 days, do not take it. Because why? Why would that not be good, Andrea? A free
Um,
trial for 7 days.
Because then it's gonna charge you. Also, if you're asking about Peyton, she is here. I saw in
Okay.
participants.
Okay, Peyton, are you here?
Yeah, I apologize. My Wi-Fi is pretty bad today. What was your question?
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, Peyton. Peyton, excellent. But Peyton, check to make sure this is not 7 days. I'd like you to choose another one. Do you understand? Because guess what? You say, oh, this is great, but I only can use it for 7 days. We want to use it for the entire semester at least. Do you see that,
The free
Peyton?
trial. The free trial is 7 days for every option there, and then the cheapest one is $7 a month after that.
Okay, so what we're looking for, Peyton, is we're looking for something free for the entire semester.
Okay.
I use Vimeo and I Googled it. There's a free version, a paid version, and the free version allows unlimited recording with no time limit. So
Okay,
make sure just stick with the free version and make sure you didn't sign up for a 7-day free trial of the paid version.
okay, Peyton, do you see that? So we want to
I
make
do,
sure.
yes.
Okay, so if this is a recording, then that is fine. So I want to make sure that people look at that. Excellent work, Peyton, that you did it ahead of time. But you want to discuss this. This free trial for 7 days wouldn't be acceptable for us, right? And then what Sebastian has said he was using, and he found that there's a free trial. Always look for the free trial for us. Later on, you can advise maybe of what you can do. So sometimes what it'd be nice to do is free 5 minutes and unrestricted, and what the charge is. Because once you start using Valentina, once you start using Loom, it may be worth it for the company to pay for that. Right now, we're going to just look at the free version. Any questions on that? So this should be under the assignment group. So if I go back to the assignment group, under group 0, all your individual screen assignment should follow then what is the price and what do I get for the free trial. It'll be good here also to put what do I get? What is the difference between the paid and the free, Sebastian? To find out. You understand? And then showcase, then takeaways and challenges. So if you could add that, Sebastian, even right now, the price, free version versus paid version, the differences.
All right, I'll do that now.
Yeah, just even put it in, and then later on you can find out addition. You see why that's important? And it's the same thing as OBS. Is there a free versions of that? And then going back to assignment groups. Let me just go back to the 0. Under the assignment groups, I want you to come back as a group once you've decided that everyone in your individual screen recording has chosen another product. So if I have four participants, I need to have 4 different products. And then and these individual screen recording assignments should look like a tutorial. You should be describing then how to use that screen recording assignment, and you'll talk about the pros and the cons. Then when you come to your screen group assignment, you'll be then having a Zoom cloud recording, of course, without a password. And here you'll be talking. You know what would be good too here is, Sebastian, you there?
I'm here.
Is add then the YouTube link.
Okay.
So just even for right now, individual recording is right under the group. Cloud recording is adding a YouTube link. Might as well do it, because does it take more time, Sebastian?
I don't know. This is just
No,
my
I mean,
submission.
no, I'm just saying when you do a Zoom recording, right? All you have to do is when you record to the cloud, you just have to say stream to YouTube.
Okay.
It's
Will
not
do.
going to cost any more time for the group. Just have the person that's doing the cloud recording, they should have a viable YouTube link. So just right now under group Zoom cloud recording, put YouTube link. At least you can put the you can even put the topic, that subtopic. And then this Zoom group cloud recording, everyone should tell the group what were the pluses and minuses of their group recording. You can show a little bit of screen sharing. Each person can share their screen a bit and discuss the pros and cons. And this way you can educate each one. Is that clear, Andrea?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Now, I was discussing behind the scenes with a number of students here. This is due, Valentina, when? Valentina, when is this due, this assignment? You have to unmic yourself, Valentina. Andrea, when is it due?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So what I would like to do, everybody hear me? We've been kind of inundated, Mark, with a lot of new activities. And also, what's the problem, Mark? Getting together with our group and working it out with our group. So what I want to do this Wednesday, I want to do group day. That you work with your groups to finish up the assignment. Even if you have it done, is have a time during the class where everyone then in the group can't say, oh, I can't make it at that time, right, Andrea? That everybody in the group then will say, okay, I know I would have all your individual assignments finished, but your group assignment, try to finish ahead of time for doing the polishing and everything, have the time in the group to review it. What do you think about that, Andrea?
Sounds good.
Sounds good, because we've been inundated, you know what I mean? It's almost like a water hose. So much time. I think we need to bond with our group and reflect with our group. So do you understand that, Peyton? So Peyton, what I want to do, you've done that excellent job then of putting it in. Make sure that you got to see the differences, what you're using the 7-day. Were you using the 7-day, or is there another version that you can do? Another version is have it done, and let's have that assignment extended, that it'll be by 10 p.m. on Wednesday due.
Sounds good. So for our group assignment portion of recording, we have till 10 p.m. on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm going to make the entire assignment due at 10 p.m.
Okay.
But
good.
I want it mandatory that you meet with your group during class time. Do you understand? So this way, kind of an overview of saying, hey, do we have everything? And a way in which, you remember how, Peyton, it's called the audit area? The reason why it's called the audit area is that we're going to be learning how to audit each other, to be in a positive manner, to make sure that everything looks good. So even though, you know, you've rushed, right, you put in your individual part, you have time then to look at someone else's individual part and give them constructive feedback. They can do it to you, and especially focus on doing your group activity. You may then, Peyton, decide as your group, hey, we want to meet before the class, get everything done, and just during class time, be able to review all our work together. See, does everything look polished? That's what I would do if I were the group. Still think of it as being done right before the class, but use class time to basically review where can we do better, what is not clear. You understand that we have time almost to polish it, and that we'll be using it again and again, right? Because the next assignment, when we're going to do the notebook, we're going to have to be using all of these features again, right? We're going to be having to be fluent to be able to broadcast that live to YouTube. We can have and the beauty here is our YouTube channel, Peyton, your YouTube channel will be, what's nice is it'll be all tutorials that someone else besides this class can use it. And then if you get a following, Peyton, you know, you can be, have a monetize it. You get a following of 8 million or whatever of Peyton's IT, you know, Gen AI tips and tricks. Wouldn't that be great? You know, plus, hey, you tell somebody, go to my channel, see it. You go for an interview, Peyton, go see my channel. And it's not just me at the beach, you know, having fun with my kid, you know, with my friends, but hey, God, she's serious. We didn't know how to do that. Isn't that great? You didn't know how to do it, most of this stuff beforehand, did you, Peyton? So now you do it, not a big shake now.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and isn't that great? Something like Notebook LM. You can even play around with that as a group, seeing how it works. We'll have another assignment to it. You know what I mean? But you can kind of see and how we're gonna try to use everything to our advantage of how it can be used. And in this case, we're using it for education, using it for learning. You're gonna learn all the time. So how does that sound, Jael? Using Wednesday session, and you decide how you're going to meet together. I don't want to micromanage, right? That's not I don't need to, Mark, right? You guys, it's hard enough to do 4 people to manage it. You don't need me to get involved, telling you where to meet, when to, you know what I mean? How to meet. But and guess what? Of course, have somebody create a Zoom, right? And then you can decide when you're going to record. You can do a number of different recordings, right? You can do a rehearsal, and then you can do, okay, this is our final recording. And you want everybody to participate in this recording, everybody to make it as a tutorial. What did you learn in how to use these recording system? When should I use Loom versus when should I use ScreenFlow or another one, or Vimeo, right? I want something longer than 5 minutes, maybe. Sometimes I only want 5 minutes. What does Loom give you? Loom gives you that you can make comments that you can share with other people. Loom is almost another way to do. You can have Peyton another channel on Loom, LOOM. And you can give it tags, and if you wanted to, you could promote it. My key is that, Zach, that you know it, not only for the grade, right? Which is going to be, these grades. A lot of times people came back to me and said, oh, why didn't I get an A? It's because you did poorly on this assignment, that assignment, and that assignment. That's why you didn't get an A, right? Where everybody wants Zach right. They think they deserve an A. But besides that, Zach, is that you can show off, and you can say, hey, this is what I know, and I can use it, and other people can use it. That's my key. So I think that the 10 p.m. is, Peyton, what do you think? I think 10 p.m. is long enough.
That would be great. Yeah, I know that at least in my group, I bet everyone in the class is struggling with meeting with schedules and having conflicts there.
Right. So let's use it. You know what I mean? And we're going to use it usefully. You know what I mean? And if you can be so kind, Sebastian, and change that. And then make an announcement that class on Wednesday will be group meetings.
Okay, I'll do that.
And that way, Peyton, everybody in your group say, hey, when are we going to meet? We'll meet at class time. Easy as enough. And then if we need more time, you can extend it. You know what I mean? Makes sense, because that's what I want. And a lot of times we're so rushed that we don't even have time to audit each other. And we'll do this periodically throughout the semester. You understand? We'll have, like a Monday or Wednesday where it'll be group, but we want to use it efficiently. Okay, do it. And here with Kevin, do we need to join this meeting for attendance? No. We'll see it by your work. But I appreciate it. Good question. That they were asking, will we have to sign in for attendance? We won't even sign in, for that time. You'll meet on your own, and we'll see it by the timing of when you record. We'll see the end result, right, Peyton? But there's no excuse that people say, oh, where it was before, give us an extension because we didn't have time to meet. Nobody could figure out a time to meet. And I used to say, hey, there's mornings, there's midnight, there's 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning. People didn't like that. We have a great time slot. That it's true. And it's not even Valentine's Day, Peyton. Right? So we don't even have that. Okay? How does that sound? I think that's and what do I want? I want it best for everybody. Is there anything else I need to look at in the chat that I need to discover? Andrea or Soren?
Professor,
Yes.
so just to clarify, we don't have class on
Right.
Wednesday? Okay.
But you're going to meet with, but instead of class, Christian, you're meeting with your group. So I don't
Yes.
want it as a day off, you know, we're going, but
I just
rather,
wanted to make sure that,
yes, but you're not coming online.
okay, so it's not like through breakout rooms, it's completely separate on our
I
own.
think it's better on your own.
Yeah.
Later on, we'll do
All right.
breakout rooms. You know what I mean? This way, you guys, you know, sometimes I need breakout rooms to discuss with you. I think, Christian, don't you agree with me? You guys know what to do.
Yeah, I definitely.
You know what I mean? You guys, I
yeah.
don't need to be going to each group and say, oh, what did you know, in the first time I did, right? And then later on, when we'll do another group, I need to kind of problem solve with you and say, hey, that's not a good idea for your project. This is, but everybody is clear now what they need to do. Don't you agree with me, Christian? I don't need to, you know, be an overbearing instructor. As I say, you know, like an overbearing parent, you know, I don't need to be a helicopter instructor every time on you. And that's the beauty here, right? That you guys can create things that I could not even think of, right? That you want to say, hey, we crushed this assignment, right? And we got even better. That, you know, we added more than what they were even asking for the minimum. Okay? And I don't know what we got here in Luca. We got a little, Luca, are you there? It's not a good look. Have you seen that? We're getting a bar fight or something there. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, do attendance. Stay with me if you have questions. Otherwise, I think we got it set. Christian, thank you so much for clarifying. So for Wednesday, we're meeting in a group. We're not logging on, but it's mandatory to meet in your groups. That's what's mandatory, Christian. Okay. All right, so I'm sharing my screen for attendance. Stay with me if you have questions. And let me go to my regular content, right? That I have my regular content, I have my attendance. Let me do check-in. Start check-in. We'll see what number we get. 9167. And Soren, can you be so kind and put it in the chat? 9167. Do you got that, Soren?
Yes.
Perfect. So you can place that in the chat with everyone, that everyone can see it. Once you have the chat, you're welcome to sign off if you need me. I'm going to stop sharing, though it will still be on the 9167 should still remain. Okay, so stay with me if you have questions. Otherwise, Christian, I'll see you formally. Everybody, I'll see you on Monday, but by 10 p.m. we should have all the sections in. So Sebastian, if you can stay with me, Andrea, it's a good idea I think it's a good idea for Wednesday.
Oh yeah, sorry. I can't stay right now after class. I have to run to a different meeting.
Yeah. Okay, great.
I'm so sorry about that. I just
No, it's perfect. So basically you understand what you need to do.
Yeah.
Perfect. Looking forward to a great group meeting.